Hey guys, Chris here again with Busted Knuckle DIY, and today I'm going to show you how to break the bead on your own tire and replace a busted valve stem. Let's get wrenching.
Oh hell, I can fix that. Honey! Can you bring me a Band-Aid, please?
Alright guys, so we've got the tire off and I sprayed it down with a little Windex. I know this valve stem's bad, but you can see the huge stream of bubbles coming out from around this thing. Now, valve stems are not that difficult to replace, with the exception of we have to crack the bead on the tire. So the first thing we have to do is get all the air out. So let me grab my little tool here, and I'll show you how we're going to remove that valve core, and then I'll show you a little redneck trick to go ahead and crack this bead loose so we can get this thing replaced. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get the air out of here. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this, but the fastest way I found is just go ahead and pull the core out of the valve stem, and you can do that with a little tool like this. This is available just about in the auto parts store, probably Walmart. And they make them fancier, a little screwdriver tip. But anyway, we're going to stick that thing down in there and unscrew the valve core and let the tire bleed down. Alright, that's all done hissing. Now, the valve core itself, the valve stem, is pretty easy to replace. Now, there are two kinds. There's a kind of a steel-shanked thread-on kind, and then there's these rubber kind which just pull through. So, you'll need a little tool like this. I got a whole kit on Amazon with a bunch of extra valve stems and everything for like 12 bucks, guys. But we got to crack the bead on this tire. Now, the best way I found to do this at home is to use my hydraulic jack. So, I'm going to get that set up for you real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay, so what I did here is I took a standard issue ratchet strap, pretty small one, hooked one hook to the axle of my jack, routed it through the tire, around underneath the jack, right, up through, hooked the other hook to the other side of the axle of the jack, ratcheted the tire down double tight, gave it a few pumps with the jack, and I heard the bead crack loose. So let's take this thing loose and see if we actually got what we were hoping to get here. So let's let the jack go. Pull the ratchet strap loose. There we go. There's that. There's that. On that side. And there we have it. Move the jack out of the way so you guys can see a little better. Okay, and we can see that bead is loose. And we have access to the inside of the tire so we can put it on our new valve stem. So, anyway, I'm going to grab an X-Acto knife or a box cutter, something like that, to cut off part of this old stem. And then I'll show you how to pull the new one in, reset that bead, and air the tire back up. Okay, so I've got the outer portion of the valve stem off there. It was already cracked and broken. That's not too difficult. We're just going to reach in here and get the inner portion out. There it is right there. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and clean this area up so to make sure that we get a good seal when we pull our new rubber one through, and then I'll show you guys how to install the new one. Alright, I cleaned the area up. Hopefully it shows on camera here. I'll try to get that a little closer for you. Clean the hole up with just a soft wire brush here. Now this is an SUV, so we're going to take a longer valve stem. We are going to go ahead and remove the core. No need to have it in there while we're pulling and yanking on things. So that's out of there. So what we're going to do is push the tire out of the way, and then from underneath, and you know, a big pry bar, a big C-clamp, any of that stuff is helpful just to get things out of your way. We're going to feed that up through there just like that. And then we're going to thread on our puller tool. And we're just going to throw that right on your new valve core. And, you know, just literally pull it through the wheel. Once that's pulled through properly, and that looks good to me. We'll go ahead and put that valve core back in it. There we have it. Now, we popped the bead, but not all of it. So in real life, we should just be able to put the compressor and air gun on here and start airing this back up and the tire inflate and the bead reset. If it doesn't do it, you can take and set it up against a board or something like that and push down on the rim, kind of pull up on the tire and get that bead to reset. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and re-air this thing up. All right, so the tire's aired back up. There was absolutely no problem. Put my compressor on there, started airing it. Now, guys, when you do this, you're going to get a rather loud pop as the tire reseats. And then what I like to do is take a little Windex or Dawn soapy water and just spray around the bead on my new valve stem and make sure that I don't have a egregious stream of bubbles coming out of there, because that can happen sometimes if your bead didn't fully reset. So we're going to hose that down. Yeah, and that looks great, right? No giant streams of bubbles from around the valve stem or around the bead. So, anyway, all that's left to do is get it back in the car. Yeah, guys, hopefully you found that enjoyable and informative, and it saves you a trip to the tire shop, guys. You can buy a little kit like that for about 12 bucks on Amazon. That is enough to do about, I don't know, 20 tires. There's quite a few valve stems in there. The tools, of course, last forever. So, guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. Give us that thumbs up. Hit us in the comments. Remember to check us out on Facebook. We got some pretty cool stuff coming up, so you don't want to miss it. Guys, till next time, this is Chris for Busted Knuckle DIY saying, keep wrenching.